Hello to guys, Typhoshi here. In today's video, I have you guys a little combo tutorial and just teaching you how to play Adventure Melffy Spright, because one of you guys did comment down below in the latest video about showing the deck profile, Archie Brooks, shout out to you, asking like what's the end game goal, how do you play and stuff like that. So you know what, let me just show you guys. And this is like the main like 3-card combo that you kind of need to use all the engines. Because you can, with this, you could dig into the Melffy engine, and the Water Enchantress is just like a 1-card combo for the thing. Yes, it is a 3-card combo. You usually see it a lot more than you would expect, but like usual, you could draw whatever 2 other cards. These don't really matter. They could be non-engine or whatever. But yeah, Spright is usually pretty good because you have 1-card combos like Nimble Beaver, and you also have the Spright starter. Or you could just have a 2-card combo with 2 level 2s and whatever. But let me show you with the Adventure Engine. So first you would activate the Water Enchantress, which you banish it to then get yourself a Rite of Aramis here. So let me look for that. You would grab one of these, right? I won't shuffle it or anything because I'm going to go back into it anyways. Then you activate the Rite of Aramis here, which that lets you special summon a token. You can put it in wherever section you want. Now, if you are going first, it is always best to put it on defense for just obvious reasons. You don't want to get Lightning Storm. You don't want to give them a body to like actually, crash with. And so let's just keep it in the defense position. But if you were going second, then I would say put it in attack just so you can use it to attack. And you also get a added bonus, which I'll show you once that card pops up. So we put the token in defense, and then Rite of Mercier lets you place a Fateful Adventure, which is right here. Now, because you activated the Rite, you cannot use effects of normal summon monsters. So the Beaver effect, you just won't be able to use it after you activate the Rite of Aramis here. So you're going to have to normal summon the Beaver. Now, you're normal summoning this to trigger Fateful Adventure effect, which lets you bring a equip card, and you bring over the Draco back, and you bring this Draco back to your hand, right? You just add it, and then you could actually activate Fateful Adventure to bring yourself a monster that mentions an adventure token in its name. So usually right here, this is if you don't already have the Griffin Rider, you grab the Griffin Rider, but if you have this in hand already, you just grab another Water Enchantress, and you can use it as discard fodder so that you have recursion for the later matches. So yeah, you bring in the Wandering Griffin Rider. Then you have to discard a card. So you would discard the Draco back, because the Draco back actually has a really nifty effect where if it's in the graveyard, you could target the token and you can equip it directly to it. So boom, now you have a token equipped to the thing. And the Fateful Adventure has an added bonus effect where the first time that your monster that has an equipped card on it were to be like destroyed by battle, it just isn't. So if somebody tries to destroy it by battle, it just stays there as a body. Then that's why, one last thing. That's why I also encourage you guys to leave it in defense if you are going first, because you don't take any extra damage either. So then from there, usually before you target this, you kind of want to chain on the Griffin Rider. So I did it a little wrong. So you would activate the Draco back, and then you would chain on the Griffin Rider, and then you special summon it as well, and then the Draco back will resolve. You want to do this because it's kind of like a good way to chain block anything. At least to my knowledge, I'm still not sure, but maybe they can interrupt it. I'm not sure if Ghost Bell can, but anyways, it's always a good thing to chain block with the thing. And then also going first again, it's always the best option to put the Griffin Rider in defense mode. And you also want to do this before you go into your Gigantic plays, because Gigantic does lock you into level 2s. Now that you do have your Nimble body, then you can special summon the Spright Blue, and then you already know it's normal Spright combo. So Spright Blue, that searches you for any Spright monster. Here you could get the Jet. Then you would, special summon the Jet. Jet effect, that lets you grab a Spright trap or spell. And then here you grab the Double Cross. I personally like to grab the Double Cross because I do main it. But other people grab another starter if they haven't used one for next turn. Better recursion. It's kind of just up to like whatever opponent you're playing against, or if you run the double cross or not. So from here, you could set it if you want, you know, it's fine. You can do it whenever you want. Now, if you guys want to Ibly lock your opponent, this is what you do first. You would turn these two into a gigantic sprite. Then you would activate the gigantic sprite effect to then special summon to your side of the field an Ibly. If I can find it, it should be... Where is Ibly? Here it is. And you can special summon the Ibly. Now, you use the Ibly with the gigantic sprite to make the Sprint, right? Now you can make the Sprint. And this is the good thing. Then, you can activate the Sprint effect and then chain block it with the Ibly effect. So this Ibly then goes to your opponent's field. I'll just put it off camera because you guys can't see it, but just imagine it's on your opponent's field. Now, for their turn, they cannot special summon monsters unless they are link monsters. And then the Sprint effect, like usual, then will resolve. You could send the Ingler, and then you get 2 beavers to your side of the field. After this, more regular stuff, and this is where you bring in the Melffy engine. You would bring Melffy of the Forest effect. You detach one to then bring yourself a Melffy monster, which would be the Melffy Caddy. You would bring this to hand. Now, right here, if you somehow had another level 2 body, you could make another Xyz monster, or if you had a Spright red, you could put it there, you could special summon it. But you kind of want to leave this place open for 2 different things. On end phase, you could activate Caddy from hand to special summon it, and then you directly want this spot in specific, because let's say they normal summon a monster on their turn. This is how it would play out. Let's say your opponent is playing Brandon, right? They normal summon Aluber, or yeah, let's just say normal summon Aluber, right? You can bring back the Caddy to hand. Caddy effect resolves to then grab a Penny. If I could find it in my deck. Here you go, Penny. Then what you could do is, I think their effect will resolve because it's when a normal summoner monster or whatever. So whenever they grab their card, then Melffy of the Forest effect will proc. You can target and negate it, but it's not really good for those effects that are like on normal summons, whatever. It's better for if effects, or like whenever your opponent has a trigger. Anyways, you could just wait and respond with Penny to something else, or you could chain it onto the Melffy of the Forest whenever you have that if effect when a beast monster is bounced back. So let's say you are chaining it to the main Melffy of the Forest. You would chain the Penny, and then you would use the Penny and the Caddy through Penny's effect to synchro summon using materials from your hand, which was the Caddy. And then from here, you could go into a Herald of the Arclight, or you could go into the Merry Melffys. And it just depends on what you're playing against. If you decide to do Caddy a little bit later and they already have like a little bigger board, then you could use Merry Melffys to bounce back their stuff. Or if you want to do it just immediately, 9 times out of the 10, I go for the Herald of the Arclight, because you just get another Omni Negate. And then from here, they're going to have to play against the Wandering Griffin Rider. You get another Omni from the Herald, and you get like a slightly more nerfed version of Dimensional Shifter with the Herald. It's more stuff from the cards or from the deck directly that get banished instead of stuff on the field. But it's still very, very strong. And then obviously, let's say they summon a special summon a monster, Sprint effect, you detach one of your Xyz material and then you bounce it back. Or let's say you already used your Herald and then they want to do something else, you could chain the double cross. There's 3 different versions of this card that you could activate. One of them, you attach it to your Xyz monster. You like target one of their monsters on their field, boom, use it as material. It doesn't have to be on their field, it could be any card, literally. And you just go boom into your Xyz monster. You could also steal your opponent's card and you could put it on your link 2 zone on wherever the arrow points. And lastly, you could target any monster of each other's graveyard, your opponent's or yours, and you can special summon it to a link 2 zone. So you can bring back the Herald, so you get yourself a 3rd Omni Negate. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, that's the main like kind of thing that you want to go for with this deck. Those are all the interruptions and stuff. It's really strong. Most of the times whenever I get this all full combo out, my opponents usually tend to scoop, because by the time I've used Herald, by the time I've used Griffin Rider and their bounce backs, they don't really have anything else to play with. So when it's your turn, let's say you're going again, you draw it, it could be whatever. Let's say they even destroy your whole board, and you still got that Cashier of Fenrir to continue. But yeah, going first, it's really, really strong. And let me show you going second. Okay, so these are the cards that I usually side out. This is the whole adventure engine that I run in my deck. And these two other cards, which are better going first. So I usually try to take these out. But it all just depends. And then these are the ones that I usually side in. Retaliating Sea is pretty good for the meta this time. Just because stuff like Pearly and Branded try to use their... They have spell cards that could special summon monsters, and that's what Retaliating Sea is for. I'm still trying to fix around my side deck, so this could be any other hand traps or whatever. This side deck could be literally anything. You have 10 whole cards that you could side out. I'm thinking of maybe putting these and maybe like one of these Cosmic Cyclones and then just changing them all for evenly matches or something. But that's for like future me to figure out. But anyways, just so you guys know, you have 10 whole cards that you can side out. So let's put these in, just to put them in. And let's put these to the side. And then I'll show you a quick little combo for going second. Okay, we're just doing like a raw little thing. And see what you got right here. This is not the best of hands, but you do have a 1-card starter with the Spright starters, and that's all you really need. And then you have 2 non-engine. So for what I really need, this is enough. So let me show you, right? Spright starter, you already know. You can do your regular Spright plays. You special summon the blue. The blue will get you a jet. And then you take the 1100, right? So you take the damage for that, and you special summon the jet. The jet, you could grab yourself... Let's say they have a big board monster. You could grab a Spright Smashers, so you can break down their board. Or if you want, you could go for another starter for Recursion. I'm not playing the Gamma Burst in this version just yet because I've been trying out the Cat Shark, and I've been liking it. But sometimes I do miss the Gamma Burst, so I'm probably gonna put it back in. It just depends. I need to move some stuff around, and I still gotta figure out all the nooks and crannies of this deck, you know. So anyways, use the both starter and the blue. I mean the jet and the blue, sorry. And then you would bring out the Sprin. The Sprin dumps the Angler. And you do some more basic stuff pretty much. You're not playing with any of the adventure engine. It's just kind of more pure-ish Spright. And then you have your Beaver and then your other Beaver. Then you use these two to make a gigantic. Now, this depends on how big of a board your opponent has. Let's say your opponent has a lot of monsters and you know for sure you can't kill them. You kind of just go into battle and you attack something at random, whatever you want. And then you would go into main phase 2, then you Downerd, and then you Zeus. And then, you know, you just blow up their field. And you have a couple material to do that. You could do that twice. You could blow up their field twice. Now, if you want to go for the OTK, you would take this out, right? You would detach it, and then you would special summon, you know, whatever you want. You could do a red, a blue, a jet, whatever level 2 that you want. Let's just say it's the jet again, because it doesn't really matter. Then you can use these again to make a Cat Shark. Detach to then double the gigantic Spright. So now you're at the 6400, I'm pretty sure. And then from there, you go into the Angler, right? You can normal summon it, or you could just normal summon whatever you have left. I had the Caddy and the Angler. You can normal summon because you haven't used your regular normal summon. Then you can link these two off again. And you kind of just need a monster that has enough for 64 plus whatever. So if my math is correct, you need like 1600. Yeah, you need like a 1600 body. So you have the Nightmare Phoenix, you have the Donner, you have, let's see what else you have. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At least that's what I'm running right now, the Donner or the Phoenix. to then kill. So let's just go Donner, because why not? That's the exact amount. And then you could just gigantic attack 6400 and then boom, attack with the Donner. That's only just, you know, saying that they have no monsters left on the field. And let's say you just cleared it using some other non-engine. I sadly didn't get anything to like board clear, but it's just alternative routes. Going second, this deck is a little bit weaker is what I've noticed. But with me getting better sides, I think I'm able to run something else. So I still got to go back into the board and then fix that up. And with Gamma Burst, OTKing becomes so much easier. So honestly, I do recommend the Gamma Burst. And I might be putting it back into this deck, depending. It all just depends on how I feel and stuff like that. I've been trying out new stuff. I've been playing not Gigantic. I've been playing Spright for maybe a couple months now. And I feel like I'm pretty okay with understanding what this deck is trying to do and stuff like that. But of course, there's always room for improvement. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer one. And if you guys want any more knowledge or any more help, just write it down in the comment section below. Hopefully that shows all the stuff that you can do and you cannot basically do with Spright. And hope that answered your question, Archie. Have a good one. Peace.